My royal family, blessed love, life giver and the keeper of life, Negus and Agas, Haile Selassie the First. Family, we definitely have a wonderful presentation for you this evening. We will be watching together, myself and yourself, we will be watching the short documentary film entitled Anu, the Ancient City, world renowned. So ones have been asking about the god Anu. Ones have been asking about where is the city of Atlantis? Have they really found it? And ones have been asking about the Stargate in the Caribbean. That's at the Stonehenge of the Caribbean. And for those who will be joining us in December for the southern solstice, which is called the winter solstice, you want to definitely sit in for the rest of this program as we will be watching the documentary Anu, the ancient city, together. So give thanks, remember, share the link and let someone know that you definitely entered into the tiger's nest. It's the Winter Solstice Extravaganza, a festival unlike any other in the world. Join us for 5 days and 5 nights in the Caribbean island of Antigua. Experience our beaches, our historic island tour, splendid accommodations, and our plant-based meal. And of course, the sunrise and the sunset hike to the Stonehenge of the Caribbean, Green Castle Hill, Mount Anu, amongst the megaliths that align with the stars. Reserve your spot today and join us from Wednesday the 18th to Sunday the 22nd of December 2024 for the Winter Solstice Extravaganza. Visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Oh, beautiful. Yes, family. Talking about the winter solstice extravaganza. And as I said, sometimes I like to say the southern solstice because remember, in the southern hemisphere, it's not the winter season now, it's actually the summer season. But of course, it's going to be a beautiful session and respect to the heavens that declare the glory that aligns with the megaliths. And for those of you, listen to this, for those of you who will be visiting us and will be making your commitment this evening, and this evening being between the 23rd and the 24th day of November, for sure we will be waiving your cost for the hikes that will be taking place to Green Castle Hill. So the hikes, I'm talking about the morning hike and the evening hike to Green Castle Hill. For those of you who have not committed, I'm talking about to the Winter Solstice Extravaganza. Once you commit at the playing or the rebroadcast of this premiere, you definitely, the cost for the hikes, which is basically the highlight of the whole extravaganza. I'm talking about the morning hike and the evening hike to Green Castle Hill. I myself will take on the cost for that specific experience. So keep in mind what we will be premiering tonight. If you didn't have an understanding what the Green Castle Hill, the Mount Anu experience is all about, for sure you will be getting that understanding, comprehension tonight as we revisit. We're actually revisiting the documentary entitled Anu, the Ancient City. And as you can see here from the International Tourism Film Festival, Africa, of course, Anu, the Ancient City, the documentary that you're going to see right now was literally announced as a finalist in this prestigious competition here, International Tourism Film Festival Africa 2020. So in a moment, you will see the documentary that they chose coming straight out of the halls of the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. And really, what I'm highlighting to you, family, those of you who will be joining us for the winter solstice experience, although it's more than Greencastle Hill. Remember, we will be launching, listen to me good, we will be launching the next edition of the magazine, Kidemi. That will be on the 21st day, Saturday evening of December. And remember, of course, as the ad said, you have your island tour and you have the yoga and the meditation and everything else that comes with it. The Sabbath service, those of you who will be coming just for the Nyabingi experience, is going to be a blast. The chalice talk, the whole cannabis experience, it is going to be a blast. Meditation with myself, it's going to be wonderful. What say you? I'm sure. But the whole aspect of Greencastle Hill and the preservation of Greencastle Hill is very important for as it relates to this project, because it's really a project. The extravaganza is just a part of a greater project, which has to do with preserving Mount Anu, preserving Greencastle Hill. So I want you to keep that in mind. So what we're going to do, I hope everyone is prepared. I hope you would have already shared the link. I hope you would have already pressed those thumbs up buttons. And remember, speaking of links, remember the link for our magazine, Kidemi, is in the description below this video. Now, after watching this documentary with myself, and of course, I'm going to interrupt it every now and again. You may want to watch it without the interruption. You may want to watch it without the commentary. For you to do that, you have to go inside of the magazine, Kidemi. And how do I get there? Just visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, priestisaacinstitute.com. Or, as I said, the link is in the description below the video. Just press it and the magazine will appear. And I'm sure most of you are quite familiar with the magazine already. But again, those who are not, just flip through the pages and you will come across the documentary I'm talking about, Anu, the ancient city. So what we're going to do, family, I hope you have all your snacks and all your meditational tools. I myself am well prepared. And let us dig into and experience Anu, the ancient city. Give thanks. And remember, you may be seeing this premiere second or third time. This will be premiered several times during the time frame of the 23rd to the 24th of November. This is why I am encouraging those now who are partaking of this season, those of you who intend to come and join us in December. Again, if you make that commitment today between the 23rd and the 24th, once you make that commitment, we will literally waive the cost of the hikes, both the morning hikes and the evening hikes. I will take the tab for the hikes, if you understand. So that alone is a very big thing. Looking forward to your presence. Let's go straight into the
Are you interested in learning ancient astronomy, archaeoastronomy, or astrotheology? Well, the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge is now offering certified courses in the field of astronomy covering all the above mentioned. Sign up now for our online courses or visit us in Antigua in the Caribbean for 7 days and 7 nights of practical underground research, plus archaeoastronomical observation on Greencastle Hill. You will learn how to identify the stars, the constellations, and the planets, as well as their makeup and their value. This will be a studycation. Enroll today by visiting our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or sending us an email, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com, or search us out on TripAdvisor, the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge, Ancient Astronomy, Archaeoastronomy, and Astrotheology, the wave of the future. priest Anu. Antigua, 108 square miles, seated in the northeastern section of the Caribbean island chain, the home of Green Castle Hill, Mount Anu, almost 600 feet in the air, comprising of countless of volcanic megaliths that relate to the solstices and the equinoxes, also aligned with the movement of the astronomical clocks, stars, constellations, megaliths that correlate even to the planets. Green Castle Hill, also referred to as Shah Hill by the native people, is also considered the Stonehenge of the Caribbean. Its unique array of massive rocks show themselves in many different formations, thrones, seats, and even the esoteric expression of the reproductive system of both male and female, the phallic and the vulva. According to Dr. Maura Imbert, archaeoastronomer from the University of the West Indies, it is this phallic stone that has a specific alignment with the circumpolar stars of the northern celestial pole. This exciting connection takes place every spring equinox around the 21st day of March. Green Castle Hill is an astronomical haven where hierophany after hierophany can be detected. The natural connection with the stones and the stars is breathtaking. What is also awe-inspiring is the surrounding landscape that also connects to Mount Anu, Green Castle Hill. Pyramid-shaped hills and even islands in the distance also align themselves with the sun and moon and planets at peak times and specific times of the year. Because of its astronomical connection, there is a natural exchange, a constant exchange of energies and frequency from the heavens to the earth, celestial and terrestrial, on Green Castle Hill. This has been proven with experiments that have been carried out using compasses and crystals where their vibration pattern is obvious and constant. The tuning fork effect, the frequency and vibration of one, also affects the frequency and vibration of the other. The stars to the stone, and each stone correlate with each other, and of course, those who are present on the hill. This is why this space, like other sacred spaces, opens the mind, enhances the vision of the third eye, poetry, inspiration, and many different forms of insight comes alive in the sacred zone of Green Castle Hill.
And even in, the poetry there, the sacred space of Green Castle Hill, give thanks. If you notice now, he was speaking of, he being myself, obviously, speaking of the mystic, what is known as the tuning fork effect, when you touch you hit the tuning fork and the vibration goes to the other tuning fork and it literally vibrates. Yes, that's the sort of energy that is taking place there on Green Castle Hill. In fact, what was mentioned there as it relates to the compass, there is a specific stone on Green Castle Hill. When you rest the compass on the stone, the compass starts to go haywire. So you can obviously see that we're dealing with some serious levels of electromagnetic polarity. I mean, with all of these megaliths, I'm talking of countless. Don't mind these little pretty pictures you're looking at. I mean, you got to be there to see it with your eyes. These countless of volcanic boulders that's aligning not just with the stars, but with the movements of the moon and the sun. That's why the winter solstice and the summer solstice and the equinoxes, that's why we celebrate these moments. But it's more than just these 4 points of the year. It's all the time, every moment. As I'm speaking to you now, there's a specific alignment taking place with stone and stars right there on Green Castle Hill. Reality, Mount Anu.
The River Happy, also referred to as the River Nile, flowing out of the highlands of Abyssinia, Ethiopia, Uganda, Kenya. This is the longest river on the planet Earth, over 4,000 miles long. It is along the banks of this great and mighty ancient river where you find the origin of civilization, art, culture, script, language, mathematics along the banks of the River Nile. Even the origin of human beings in general can be found along the banks of the River Nile. Northeast Africa, Kush, ancient Ethiopia, Nubia, Tarseti, ancient Kemet, also known as Egypt. The ancient African astronomers always connected the great River Nile, the great River Happy, with the Milky Way, which is the galaxy that our solar system is lodged in. On the northeast section of this terrestrial Milky Way of the River Nile stands a very ancient and sacred city. It is considered the most holiest of the cities in ancient African history. Heliopolis. Heliopolis is known as the City of the Sun. Heliopolis is also referred to as the City of the Priests. For it is at Heliopolis where the ancient rites were issued, where the priests were initiated, where the ancient study and universities were established for those who were stepping into the clergy, for those who were stepping into the priesthood of the god Amun. Heliopolis was also referred to as the City of the Sun. The sun was seen as Ra. Heliopolis, more than any other city in ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt, has been ravaged to the point that its many obelisks have been removed and taken to many parts of the earth, and only one remains. Rome alone has over a dozen stolen obelisks. The United States of America, London and France also has obelisks stolen from Heliopolis. The standing obelisk, which is rightfully referred to as the Teken, is symbolic of Asar's phallic, the penis of Osiris, in mythology. Very similar to the phallic stone on Mount Anu in Antigua. But outside of that connection with the obelisk, the only standing Teken in Heliopolis, and the phallic stone on Mount Anu in Antigua,
Green Castle Hill, there is much more than meets the eye. For you must keep in mind that ancient Heliopolis in Africa is an ancient city known as the City of the Priests. What is interesting is that Antigua in the Caribbean was also referred to as the Island of the Priests. Both cities, the island and Heliopolis in Africa, are referred to as Sun City. Antigua is referred to as Sun City, while Heliopolis, just by its name, Heliopolis, means the city of the sun. It's the name given to it by the Greeks. As far as their location and where they're situated in the earth, although Heliopolis is an inland city and Antigua is an island by itself, they're both situated to the northeastern section of their habitat. So in other words, the River Nile, which by the way has a similar shape to that of the Caribbean island chain, on the banks of the River Nile to the northeastern section, there you have Heliopolis. On the northeast section of the Caribbean island chain, you have 108 square miles of Antigua. What is interesting as well is that the symbol for Antigua is the sun in its flag, the city of the sun, while the sun, Ra, the Aten, is also the symbol for Heliopolis in Africa, in Kemet. Heliopolis is not the original name for Heliopolis. It's the name given to it by the Greeks. Its ancient name is Anu. A-N-U, Anu. Antigua's port abbreviation is Anu. A-N-U, Anu. Both city of the suns, both city of the priests. Both on the northeastern section of their respective habitation. The city of the priests, Anu. In 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Several months after, in the Western world, he came across the island known as Walladli, which he renamed Santa Maria de la Antigua, one of the holiest churches in Spain. It is also said that for one reason or the other, he never stepped foot on the land. We have already witnessed in this documentary the spiritual characteristics of the island, Santa Maria de la Antigua, which means Saint Mary of the ancient. The word Antigua means ancient from time immemorial. Its ancient spirit can be seen not only in its connection to ancient Kemet and ancient Heliopolis, not only in the countless of megaliths that align with the stars and the zodiac belt and the full array of constellations, but even in our lingua, the language, the dialect, what some refer to as the Creole of the people of Walladli, which we have called Wadadli, Antigua. The dialect is called Rabak, and within it you find words that are directly not only connected to the motherland, but connected to the name of God specifically. Nyam, which means to eat in Antigua's dialect, is an Akan, West African word for God. Wadu is also another word for God. Gimiam and Afumi, which means give it to me and it's mine respectively, are both names, African terms for the Most High. Awe, Yogo, which we would consider, where are you going? Awe, Yogo, is a chant you would hear the Ifa priestess recite. This is but evidence to show you the spiritual nature of the island of Antigua, Santa Maria de la Antigua, the ancient land. It is named after a church, estimated to be 108 square miles by nature. The Vatican City sits on 108 acres of land, as the number 108 is extremely mystic. For it is said that the universe is made up of 108 elements. This is according to ancient texts. The current periodic table claims a few more than 108. The diameter of the sun is 108 times that of the diameter of the earth. The average distance from the earth to the sun is equivalent to 108 suns in a row. The average distance from the earth to the moon is equivalent to 108 moons in a row. And in Zen Buddhism and many other ancient rites from the Eastern world, they would use 108 in their chants and the amount of beads that they would use for prayer. 108 is the square mileage of Antigua, Santa Maria de la Antigua, Saint Mary of the Ancient. And before we step there, because I must say ones would bring to the forefront, I would say, the importance of, you cannot abandon an island, a far continent. And anyone that knows us knows that that is our mantra. And one of the other mantras that we definitely promote is that the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. And let me be clear here, royal family. This is not something that I would even encourage anyone to spend too much time to try to criticize. This is the heavens being unraveled here, especially those who consider themselves to be patriotic islanders and Antiguans and this kind of stuff here. This is very, very serious. What you are witnessing here, even from the time we put down the book Anu, for those who have a copy of the book Anu, which goes into a bit more detail than even the documentary, it clearly shows you that the wisdom of the Almighty is found in some simple places. You understand? And the connection is obviously deep. So this is why we have the campaign to preserve Green Castle Hill. Because we understand. You see, people don't really, gravitate to what they don't really comprehend, what's not in their heart, what doesn't mean something to them. So this is why we bring it to the nation, to the populace universally in different forms of education. So we wrote a book entitled Anu, Ancient and Modern, how many years ago now. How long we write Anu? We talking about long time, maybe 20 years now. Anu is the book itself. This documentary launched a year and a half ago. Anu, the ancient city. The vast majority, not all of the graphics and everything put together on this documentary was by my son, the Honorable Prince Alamasi. You look at the certificate, you see his name on it as well. And of course, lectures and articles. Look at our magazine. We're talking about the magazine, Kidemi. Inside of the magazine, we highlight Green Castle Hill and, of course, the megaliths. Even Dr. Mara Imbert, which I would say was the premier archaeoastronomer who definitely did the works on the hill to really bring to a scientific understanding how the heavens really declare the glory, and how the rocks on Green Castle Hill, those of you who will be visiting us in a few storms, the rocks in Green Castle Hill, how they align with the heavens and align with the stars. So this is more than just rocks, Rasta. This is more than just stars. I clearly highlight in the book Anu with graphics that when you look at the River Nile, you look at the Caribbean island chain, it's almost like a mirror. It's more than that. Look at the River Nile and look at the Milky Way, it's the next mirror. As above, so below, and even across the waters. The depths of this, and anyone with eyes can see, undeniable, where Heliopolis is. On the banks of the River Nile is the exact spot where Antigua is. On the northeastern section of the Caribbean island chain. What do you want me to do? Pretend as if I didn't see it, when it was revealed to me. So when you comprehend, I don't even think I mentioned this in this documentary, but the 365 beaches that they have in Antigua, which is directly linked to the cycle of the solar cycle, the 365 days, which again adds to the whole connection of the island of the priest and the city of the priest. I'm talking about Antigua Heliopolis. The island of the sun, or sun city as they call it, and the city of the sun in ancient Kemet again. And just the whole idea of the place is the same. I mean, this is the same island where what they consider the Amerindians would come to learn whatever priestly order that they would have adopted, because Antigua was really considered a place that it wasn't really a place where people would inhabit the island in general at a specific time. It was just like a holy spot. Green Castle Hill. The same thing with Heliopolis. Yes, it's a city, where people inhabit, but it's really a place where you come to be anointed as the priest of the tradition that you're keeping up. But you see, Green Castle Hill has been there for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. So we're looking like, talking about thousands of years in the past in anciency visiting this part of the world, when even Mansa Musa and his brother would have made those expedition all across the globe. So this is an important spot. This is why Dr. Ray Brown would have come right here seeking for the lost city of Atlantis. He said the lost city of Atlantis is somewhere around here. Megaliths, these are standing points of even Atlantis. And if Atlantis was a continent that really would have sunk, that means the peak of the mountains would become islands. Just think about it, Rastafari. So the heavens really declared. I don't see no mistake. I myself came out of my mother's womb on this land. Yeah. And it's to even reveal things like this to those, again, who consider themselves very patriotic. Let's continue. Give thanks. Rastafari. Rites from the Eastern world. They would use 108 in their chants and the amount of beads that they would use for prayer. 108 is the square mileage of Antigua, Santa Maria de la Antigua, Saint Mary of the Ancient. In Africa, Zimbabwe, Monomotapa, the ancient city. The Matobo Mountains, also known as the Madobo Mountains, the mountains of the great boulders. These mountains, according to the great Credo Mutra, has a connection with the astronomical clock. These boulders and heavy megaliths are said to align with the solstices and the equinoxes, similar to Green Castle Hill. Buried at the top of the Matobo Mountains is British colonialist Cecil Rhodes. He requested to be buried there at his death, amongst the boulders that aligned with the astronomical clock, because of his understanding of the importance of being buried amongst the stars. In Antigua, Greencastle Hill, Mount Anu, where the megaliths also align with the heavens and the astronomical clock. At the top of Greencastle Hill, Mount Anu, there is a grave, and this grave belongs to another British colonialist, former governor of the Leeward Islands, one Oliver Risdale, affectionately referred to as Governor Baldwin. He, like Cecil Rhodes, would have been privy to certain understanding of the esoteric world and its connection to the terrestrial plane, meaning that they understood the power of being buried amongst the megaliths and the boulders that align with the stars. All over the ancient world, and even the modern world, monuments and structures are being erected to align the deceased with the celestial afterworld. We of the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge and the Rastafari Experience Antigua has been edifying the populace in general for decades as it relates to the importance of Greencastle Hill and of course the wider significance of Antigua. Our campaign also advocates for a complete end to the destruction of the hill. Now, that is simply said. Our campaign advocates for a complete end to the destruction of the hill. Now, you see this here? This is just a snapshot of what is being done to this very important and sacred site. I want you to comprehend this, family. No matter how much time I'm going to take on this broadcast, I don't think enough words can come out of my mouth to explain the different levels. This is some deep stuff. Now, you got to be very wise. Even if I'm speaking to the whole world, I still got to be wise here. Because you see, the initial destruction began in 1963. And it began and it's still being done primarily by a company that goes by the name of the Antigua Masonry Product. Now, of course, you may want to give them the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, listen, these people may be ignorant of what they're doing, and maybe they just don't understand. I could get what I understand where you're coming from, because remember, family, when I discovered, as they would say, or uncovered the beauty of Greencastle Hill. And keep in mind, it was showed to me by others, It's not as if no one knows about Greencastle Hill, but very few, very, very few. Only if you are from this community where the hill is, as an elder person, you know about it. Outside of that and the rest of the island, believe me, no one. Nobody understood what you were talking about with Greencastle Hill. But I'm telling you, family, over 2 decades, your good brother here has been advocating for the preservation of this hill. I have been teaching in the same way you see me come and speak to you. I'm talking about radio programs, television programs, and I would have paid for airtime to keep series of programs on the air so people here on this land could comprehend the importance of that hill. So I had to bring the whole aspects of the esoterics too. No esoteric. Nobody learned about esoteric in school around here. So who? What's he talking about? They're just into, so who? So when you start to break down the whole levels of Anu, just the whole connection with Anu, the ancient god Anu. Anu is God, eh? Anu is the Almighty God. In Heliopolis, it's not Anu, the city really was named, it was on the city of Anu, the god Anu. Yeah. So the ancient Anu Antigua, the ancient Heliopolis is Anu again, and that's why the book is entitled Anu, Ancient and Modern. I just spoke to you about the book, The Tutankhamun's Prophecy, written by Max Thought. And in that book, it highlights Dr. Ray Brown, who highlighted Antigua as a place where he visited, looking for the lost city of Atlantis. And as I would have said a moment ago, if Atlantis is a city that would have sunk, keep in mind that any city that is sinking and you have, mountain ranges and peaks, the peaks would become islands, depending on how far this continent would have sunk. And at the peak here on this low island here, you have megaliths that align with the whole heavens, countless of megaliths, brothers and sisters. I would have visited Stonehenge myself. And I would have marveled at its beauty. Yes. But I live on Greencastle Hill and I know the difference. And although they call it the Stonehenge of the Caribbean, Greencastle Hill is in a class by itself. But yes, since 1963, the Antigua Mason products have been blasting away at the megaliths. They had special stones and thrones up there that I have never seen. Those of you who will be coming to Antigua in December, you will meet some of the elders that can tell you the history that I will be learning alongside you. They had a pool up there made of stone that water would come out and it would never dry up. I believe that because there's another part of the hill where that was so, but some other people came and damaged it by creating a pond. This is a holy hill. I hear people talk about holy hills. I'm not dissing nobody hill, and I don't care how high they are, but this is a holy hill. Holy is not Sunday school and Bible reading. I'm talking about countless of volcanic rocks coming out of a mountain in an island that does not have volcanic soil. No volcano around here. What kind of miracle are you talking about? Yet still aligning with the movements of the stars. And you blowing this hill up? Well, excuse them because they didn't know. You're right, they didn't know in 2004. And maybe they didn't know or realize what I was saying in 2005, but this is 2020 and 4. Nobody here can say they didn't know. Take it from me, Rastafari. Take it from me. You can find only very few people on this little rock that will tell you they have never heard anything about Greencastle Hill. Very few. And I'm telling you, when I started the campaign, you would only find very few, less than that few, that knew anything about it. So they know now. They better be careful, eh? They know now. So this is why you see we invite people. We ain't got no tourism business. What are you talking about? Oh, TripAdvisor, come on. You're just a coward, some of you, who are afraid to express your talent, to get some talents. We are drawing attention, Rastafari, to the destruction that is taking place, to a sacred spot that has a sacred energy that would affect the world. You can't just come and destroy one of the sacred spots. You think sacred spots deal with capitalism? They're not an island unto their own. That's why you have ley lines and grid lines that connect all the different sacred spots across the earth. So you blow up one, you're affecting many others. You're affecting time, space, history, and civilization. I ain't looking for no reward, Rasta, but I understand the magnitude of this and the way that I have stood up for this and will ever stand up. Some kind of great reward got to be there because this mission here is too important. But the thing is that most ones don't catch it yet. Yeah, that's the depths. So this is why we even invite ones. This is why I'm saying even tonight, anyone that is, I know some of you would have maybe made your commitment already, but it's okay. Those who are committing today at the premiering of this, these series of videos, once you make your commitment, I personally, because remember, it's not me, you know, it's a whole team of us. It's Rastafari Experience Antigua. But at the same time, I will make sure we waive your cost for the sunrise hike and the sunset hike to Green Castle Hill. Now, of course, the hikes, both hikes, sunrise and sunset, is not really about the destruction of the hill. But the destruction of the hill is something that must be seen and understood, especially when you would have seen with your eyes the beauty of the aspect of the hill that is not destroyed as yet. Don't worry, there's a lot more that's there than not there anymore, but it's definitely not a pretty sight. You know, no, I know many of you may be sitting and saying, oh, you should do this. Why you don't do this? Let's hold hands and stand around it. I know you can think of it all. We have put almost everything on the board already and done it diplomatically and done it radically and done it all the leads, what you call it, legally, get an attorney, all of the leads that you can think about, believe me, you know, but we are still saying, bringing attention in general, pardon me, to this campaign is really the mission now. And that is why when you even come and you join us, because remember, when you come and you are with us, you yourself you will be given a voice when you are here in Antigua with me. You know, you will be on the radio with me speaking to the majority of the people and telling them, well, yes, I went up the Green Castle Hill with Priest Isaac. Why are you all destroying this place? Yes, give thanks. So let us continue here, you know, as we continue. And remember, you know, family, priestIsaacInstitute.com. That is the website, priestIsaacInstitute.com. Email me, priestIsaacInstitute@gmail.com, and let me know that, hey, I would really like to join you in December for the winter solstice experience. You know, what can I do? How do I get there? Family, everything is prepared for you, you know. All right, let us listen to this and I will give you some more info.
And the usage of this great monument for aggregates. Not only because it is such a spiritual and significant real estate, but it is a national treasure and is also listed with the national parks.
That's another thing. This hill is supposed to be, and I will use that term, supposed to be national parks. Oh, well, all you need to do is get a good lawyer. I don't think you understand it. This is a life and death game too. Things I wouldn't even say here on any YouTube video. But let me just continue.
Of Antigua and Barbuda. But I am happy to report that it is not all doom and gloom.
Hold on there. You got to remember, Again, this is not just a case of somebody blowing up the metallic thing. Oops. This is a billion-dollar, trillion-dollar business taking place here. All right, let's continue.
And the usage of this great monument for aggregates. Not only because it is such a spiritual and significant real estate, but it is a national treasure and is also listed with the national parks of Antigua and Barbuda. But I am happy to report that it is not all doom and gloom. Of course, with your support, we can continue to edify the nation and, of course, the international community about the importance of Greencastle Hill. We at Rastafari Experience Antigua and the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge would like to invite you and yours to take the opportunity to visit us here in Antigua and join us on one of our excursions to Greencastle Hill. You could visit us for the spring or the fall equinox, or even the summer and the winter solstice. These are peak times. Or if you wish, contact us and we will make arrangements for you to visit us at any time at your leisure. Your accommodations, meals, and the full Rastafari experience awaits you. We also offer the world famous Wadadli Cannabis Tour, which is an educational outing to the Rastafari communities, as well as kayaking, ziplining, yoga, and so much more, offered by Rastafari Experience Antigua. You can book with us today via TripAdvisor, Rastafari Experience Antigua, or visit the website of the Institute, which is priestisaacinstitute.com, Rastafari Experience, or email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. This is an experience that you will never forget. Bring the family and come. As they say in Antigua, the beach is just the beginning. Come to Greencastle Hill and walk amongst the stars.
Well, they don't say all of that part about the walking amongst the stars, you know. But the beach is the beginning for real, and that is really what they say. So yes, Royal Family, even to get the full credits of the video and everything, you can definitely visit the website I'm talking about, priestisaacinstitute.com, priestisaacinstitute.com. Of course, you can email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Now, to really watch this video in its full credit without me interrupting, of course, you could visit the magazine. Remember, everything is on the website and the link is in the description below the video. Just press it. The magazine will be front and center. Remember, the brand new magazine will be coming out in December. Those of you who will be visiting us for the winter solstice, you'll be here for the launching of the magazine. It's going to be a beautiful event. You understand? So everything is all wrapped up into one for sure. But again, you could find the full documentary in the magazine itself. Kidemi, and for sure many other things. You could watch the documentary, a Pennymek also, and many other things. The interview with Baba Heru, all of that is inside of the magazine, fully loaded, fully digital, and the upcoming edition of Kidemi will be just as loaded or even more. So just remember, you know, once you are committing yourself to visiting us in December for the full experience, You could definitely know for sure once you're committed between the 23rd and the 24th, with the 24th, pardon me, which is the time frame we're using to premiere this specific video here. I personally would waive the cost of the two hikes, which is the morning hike and the evening hike to Green Castle Hill. And of course, as I said, this is a business venture as well. So in other words, your brother is paying for that for you. Just believe me. So we are very thankful for that. But you gotta commit between the 23rd and the 24th, which is the time frame we will be premiering this video. So you may see this video premiered once or twice or even more. You comprehend. So again, Royal Family, looking forward to all of those who will be visiting us right here in Wadadli for the Southern Solstice, also known as the Winter Solstice experience. You don't know how it goes. Life giver and the keeper of life. King Selassie, Jah Rastafari. Blessed. It's the Winter Solstice Extravaganza, a festival unlike any other in the world. Join us for 5 days and 5 nights in the Caribbean island of Antigua. Experience our beaches, our historic island tours, splendid accommodations, and our plant-based meals. And of course, the sunrise and the sunset hike to the Stonehenge of the Caribbean, Green Castle Hill, Mount Anu, amongst the megaliths that align with the stars. Reserve your spot today and join us from Wednesday the 18th to Sunday the 22nd of December 2024 for the Winter Solstice Extravaganza. Visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email us priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com.